Breaking news, everyone. Global currency markets are buzzing tonight, and for good reason. Something big just dropped, and it's sending shockwaves across the financial world. Former U.S. President Donald Trump has once again grabbed the spotlight, but this time, it's not politics that has people talking. It's money. Big money. His latest comments about global currencies have sparked a firestorm of debate among investors, analysts, and everyday holders of the Dinar and Dong. Everywhere you look, people are asking the same question. Did Trump's words just set off a major shift in how the world views these currencies? Stay tuned because we're unpacking what he said, why it matters, and what it could mean for you. In today's fast-moving global economy, a single statement from a well-known figure can shake markets in seconds. So when Trump hinted at major upcoming changes in currency values, those words instantly became the talk of the financial world, especially among followers of the Iraqi Dinar and Vietnamese Dong. Traders jumped into action, social media exploded, and search trends went through the roof. Everyone wanted to know what exactly he meant. While he didn't name specific currencies, investors quickly linked his remarks to long-standing discussions about potential adjustments or reevaluations in developing markets. That connection alone was enough to reignite hope among Dinar and Dong holders, who've been waiting for years to see a possible shift in value. Markets don't just move on data, they move on emotion. Belief can be just as powerful as fact. Within hours of Trump's comments, online platforms were flooded with new predictions and hot takes. Currency dealers even reported a noticeable spike in calls and messages. Analysts pointed out that market psychology alone can temporarily push speculative assets higher. Even without any official changes in policy, Dinar and Dong have always been special cases. Iraq is rebuilding its economy around oil and modernization, while Vietnam keeps expanding as a manufacturing powerhouse. Trump's remarks, seen by many as optimism toward emerging markets, brought these two names right back into the global spotlight. To really understand why the reaction has been so intense, we have to look at the history behind these currencies. The Iraqi dinar has long symbolized national recovery, a story of rebuilding after conflict and hardship. Its value is tightly managed by Iraq's central bank. The Vietnamese Dong tells a different kind of success story, driven by steady growth, exports, and strong manufacturing. Both countries have worked hard to modernize their economies, attract investment, and integrate with global systems. So, when someone as high-profile as Trump talks about shifts in currency values, these two nations naturally end up at the center of attention. Experts, however, are reminding everyone to stay calm. Political statements often influence short-term emotions, not long-term fundamentals. During a recent economic panel, several analysts emphasized that while Trump's influence over public sentiment is undeniable, real currency decisions come from central banks, trade flows, and policy, not speeches. That said, they agree that psychology matters. Right now, it's in overdrive. The simple belief that something big might be happening is enough to set off a wave of energy. Let's talk numbers. After Trump's comments, online searches for Iraqi dinar exchange rate and Vietnamese dong forecast jumped dramatically. Currency forums saw record activity, and dealers said inquiries poured in by the thousands. Still, banks confirmed that no official rate changes had taken place. What this shows is how powerful words can be, not because they change policy overnight, but because they wake up interest, hope, and speculation. For years, believers in the revaluation story have seen it as either a once-in-a-lifetime shot or a lesson in patience. Trump's message reignited that flame. It's not about guarantees, it's about possibilities. And that spark always moves markets. Even mainstream outlets have picked up on the surge and chatter. The Dinar and Dong are being mentioned more often, usually with cautious language, but the visibility is growing fast. Inside Iraq, the economy continues to evolve. The government is focused on reducing oil dependency, expanding infrastructure, and boosting digital banking. The Central Bank of Iraq has reaffirmed its efforts to stabilize the currency by managing inflation and supporting trade. These moves reflect progress, important groundwork for any future change in value. The fact that Iraq is now part of bigger global currency discussions says a lot about how much its reputation has improved. Vietnam's story is moving even faster. Over the past decade, it's become one of Asia's standout economies. Big brands are setting up factories, exports are thriving, and growth remains consistent. The dong is carefully managed to ensure stability, even when the world economy feels shaky. Economists point to Vietnam's real-world strength, solid productivity, steady reforms, and global integration. So when people speculate about the dong, it's rooted in genuine progress, not just hype. Trump's words reminded investors that emerging markets like Vietnam are playing a much bigger role now. But here's where we need to separate hope from hype. Experts warn that while talk of reevaluations makes for exciting headlines, real policy changes are slow, calculated, and depend on many factors, from inflation control to trade stability. One speech doesn't rewrite the system. However, investor excitement can still create short-term movements in unofficial trading spaces. These shifts often reflect emotions rather than economics, but they also show how deeply people believe in the potential of these currencies. Reactions across social media are mixed. Some users see Trump's comments as confirmation that a big moment is close. Others remain skeptical, reminding everyone that similar buzz has come and gone before. But what's clear is that the conversation is alive again. Forums are active, currency news channels are seeing spikes in engagement, and people are craving clarity. That's exactly why we're here, to bring perspective and facts, not hype. So far, both Iraq's and Vietnam's central banks have confirmed no changes in policy. Still, the renewed global spotlight helps. It attracts more investors, encourages transparency, and pushes both countries to keep improving. There's also a psychological side to all this. Big names speak and small investors listen. That's how markets work. Trump knows this, and his words often set off emotional waves. For Dinar and Dong holders, this moment feels like a reminder that patience still has purpose. But experts keep stressing smart practices. Secure your currency, avoid scams, and stick with verified sources. Unfortunately, hype brings out bad actors. Authorities warn against sending currency by mail, sharing personal details, or trusting unverified exchange offers. Stay alert and informed. That's how you protect yourself and your investment. Beyond the buzz, there's a bigger story unfolding. The world economy is shifting. Developing nations are stepping up, leading in trade, manufacturing, and digital innovation. Iraq and Vietnam are part of that wave. As their economies grow stronger, their currencies will naturally reflect that progress over time. It's not about if, but when, and how sustainably it happens. Trump's comments might not trigger an instant revaluation, but they did remind everyone that these markets deserve attention. Global finance runs on perception, and perception shapes opportunity. As 2025 unfolds, experts expect continued movement in currency markets. Interest rate changes, global politics, and trade deals will all play a part. For currency holders, the smartest play is patience mixed with education. Follow verified updates, know your local banking rules, and get advice from real financial professionals before making big decisions. Speculation can inspire you, but knowledge keeps you safe. Trump's words highlight a timeless truth. People are driven by hope, and when hope meets discipline, progress follows. For the Dinar and Dong communities, this isn't just about exchange rates. It's about resilience, patience, and shared belief. Every wave of attention brings new learning and renewed motivation. Whether big changes happen soon or later, these conversations keep the focus on Iraq and Vietnam's incredible transformation stories. So as we wrap up today's report, remember, stay informed, stay grounded, and think long-term. Trump's comments may have shaken the headlines, but the real opportunity lies in awareness and preparation. Keep watching, keep learning, and keep your expectations balanced. True wealth starts with knowledge, not luck. Thanks for watching Iraqi Dinar Hub. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit that like button, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. We'll keep tracking every twist and turn in the dinar, dong, and global currency markets.
Yes.
Stay tuned for verified updates, expert insights, and fresh reports. Until next time, stay patient, stay smart, and stay hopeful. The financial world never sleeps, and neither do we.